Hi everyone, my name is Eben and welcome to a new episode to a new quote-unquote series called ZWED Builds. I used to do this when I started ZWED in Tycoon 2, where I would just make one-off exhibits that were basically just a concept draft for something that I really wanted to make in a new zoo. And given that Tarmashadi is currently on hold until Frontier releases a new update to Planet Zoo, so our save file is fixed. I had some time to basically do an exhibit that I've been wanting to do for a while. So, for those who know it, this is obviously inspired by the Seaworld Orlando Empire of the Penguin habitat. And I've always been wanting to make this. I've wanted to make this in Tycoon 2, but I knew that wasn't possible. And with the release of the temple pieces in the South America pack, I tried to do it already, but I felt like it wasn't possible to create what I wanted to create. But with the aquatics pack, we finally have a fake rock set, and now I can finally make it. So for me, this is the first draft of this exhibit. It's something that I want to make in another zoo, and I want to do a few more iterations of this, but I'm already quite happy with the results so far. As you can see, there's an entire rock facade, and we have the iconic penguin made out of rocks. So we're just gonna take a stroll through this exhibit, and I will show you guys what I've been working on in the past few days. So let's enter the caves of Penguin Peak. And as you can see, I really tried my best to recreate the ice cave feeling. It was important for me that the interior of this build was not exactly the same as the one in Seaworld Orlando. I really wanted to have the iconic rock penguin, but I knew that I wanted to do the interior myself. So when we walk in, the first thing we're greeted by is a glass wall with penguins diving in the water. I try to make this cave as low as possible, so you can almost hit your head on the ice here, but that's intentional because I really wanted to give the cramped feeling. And you can already see a bunch of these penguins. I was gonna say flying by, but they are diving by, of course. Of course, I took a penguin because it's winter, it's Christmas today. I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. And of course, I had to pick an animal that was from a icy place. So yeah. I also made this small sign with a iceberg, and with the typical, the tip of the iceberg is the smallest part, the biggest part is underwater. So yeah. When we move further, there's a bigger area over here, because this, in my eyes, is the viewing area where most people will spend their time. And here you can see what in my eyes is the ideal viewing area for an animal like this, for an exhibit like this. It has an underwater view that's super clear and you can easily see the animals. It has the water line is slightly above, okay, is like at your sight line, but you can still see the animals on the land as well. So you can see the animal in each phase of their life, actually like living on land, like swimming at the surface and diving underneath the water. And that's something that I really like, and I really want to see that in as many penguin exhibits as possible, because you can see all their stages in life. You can see where they walk around on land, of course. So yeah, there's a bunch of room over here. I assume that most of the people would just stand here and watch the animals over here. There's another info sign. I've repeated this sign in a bunch of places. Like I have another one over there. But yeah. I must admit that I really, really, really love the diving for these penguins. I know that I said that it wasn't worth it for me for the giant otters. But for me, I love these penguins. I've been watching I've been standing here and watching these animals for like several minutes every time that I loaded the file. Like every time before I started building, I was just here watching these animals and watching them swim by because it's such an amazing sight. So yeah, if we turn around, there's another area where there's room for some educational stuff, and we have the Antarctic globe, as almost anyone who makes a build like this has. It's not perfect. I am really not that good at making the shapes, but it works. It will do. And of course another info sign. But here we stop because this is our way to the land area of the penguins. And we'll go and take a look. And there you go. As you can see, you can get quite close to the king penguins. I am not entirely sure if that's really the case in Seaworld Orlando. I know that there was some concept art where the penguins were really close, but I'm not sure if that's actually the case in real life. But I really like the concept art so much that I just wanted to see this in Planet Zoo. And these animals are so cool, and they make so much noise, which is amazing because I really like that. It brings a lot of life to the zoo, whilst other animals can sometimes be quite quiet, and these ones are so lively and make so much noise that it's just so much fun to watch them, even in the area where they are on land and they're not doing the super cool diving that you can see in the back. So for me, one of the things that I really wanted to do was the box concept. And basically I wanted it to make it clear that this was a human-made structure. There are still beams everywhere, there's asphalt roofing. So it's still quite clear that this is a human-made structure. This isn't something in the middle of the wild. But I really wanted to make it seem as if they basically grabbed a piece of nature, put it in a box and brought it over here. And I think I succeeded in that by making it really look as if you're just in some piece of nature someone grabbed and put inside this box. The new fake rock pieces are amazing. You can use them in so many ways, and you can use them to make these fake rocky and snow covered areas, which I really love. And I love, I've said this a million times before, but I would never have been able to make this in ZWED 2. Even if we had fake rocks like this, animals wouldn't walk on them the way they are doing right here. So yeah, it's really amazing. I really hope that one day we get another penguin species, preferably chinstrap or macaroni penguins. Because now it's a bit empty. I added a lot more penguins than they would usually be in these kinds of enclosures, but I really wanted to have some more life in this, and I think by having like small chinstrap penguins, that will make it much better. So yeah, let's go and continue. And when you leave this exhibit, you leave the way you entered it by going through another ice cave. And I really wanted to have this. On your way out, there's like a last viewing area where the penguins basically wave goodbye and say bye, see you next time. So yeah, and it's also the other way around, because if you for some reason enter through here instead of going through the main entrance, you still have the same kind of experience, because the first experience you'll have, the first glimpse you'll have of a penguin will be on an underwater penguin. That penguin has been super weird all the time. His head is upside down. Okay, it's part of the cool rigging system of Frontier. It still has some bugs, but that's fine. Yeah, so this is basically the entire ice cave and the indoor habitat for these penguins. And we have the entire rock facade This took me a day before this was finally finished, and I'm really happy with the result. It isn't perfect yet, and I'm pretty sure that I can do a better job at it in a second iteration, but yeah, I'm already quite happy with what I have so far. But of course, this is a build of mine, so obviously there's a backstage. So let's go and watch it. And we go through here and we enter in the filter room. So we've got 2 water filters and a water temperature controller. And I want to give out a shout out to Rubel, because he mentioned that in zoos and in underwater and water attraction parks, they had a pipe system where each pipe had a different color, and because of that color they were able to know, like, okay, this goes to the tank, this goes out of the tank. So I wanted to use that here as well. So let's walk and go to the keeper area. So as you can see, we've got the 2 colors in the pipes, which leads us to this area where we still have some other pipes, but again, there's a color coding so we know what happens. Like the red one goes to the tank and the yellow whitish one goes from the outside. I added 2 of these little panels. I really like those. I added another filter over here, so we have this cool control panel and a small little exhaust panel over here. And here we have the typical things that every backstage has when I build a backstage. I have some fridges, I have a air conditioning system that goes into the exhibit. I've got these 2 tables. We've got a table with a little board over here and a can of vitamins, because that's just like with any animal that eats fish. If there's a sick animal amongst them, or an animal that needs more vitamins or has a certain deficiency, they will usually hide some supplements inside the fish. I've also been told that some zoos basically always put supplements in their fish, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I think I read something that frozen fish loses a bit of the nutrients, so that's why they add them back in. But yeah, we've got some separation pens. They're not that fancy because this is a one-off build and I didn't think about making it more special than it had to be. We have some filtration stuff over here, some extra cans, and of course a whiteboard with a message for our zookeepers. So yeah, let's head back and take another look at our penguins. As you can also see here, I have some rubber mats here. The idea is simply because there are filters here, things are with water. If you would have to work on anything electricity based, you would like to have some rubber mats over here so you don't get electrified. But yeah, this was a one-off build, as I said, and I tried my best to make this habitat blueprintable, so you will be able to download this one. And this is my Christmas gift to you guys. I really hope you had a Merry Christmas today. I hope you had a lot of fun. I know it's not the same as every year. Some people have only been able to celebrate it with their close family. Others, like me, have spent it on their own. For me, that was just an excuse to eat more ice than I usually do on Christmas, so I'm completely fine with that. So I'm gonna upload this habitat to the workshop. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This might be the last video for this year. So if there's no other video this year, then I already want to wish you guys a happy new year, and I hope you enjoy your day. Bye!